Today I'm going to share with you a few simple pointers on PowerPoint. Let's say we have a PowerPoint presentation and we'd like to add a new slide. What we do is right-click anywhere down here, and you can then click on New Slide. Now, if you look at the new slide, they have there's a format, for example, a title here and some text boxes here. In order to change the layout, you can click here, change layout, and you can choose, a title slide which only has a big title, or you can change title and content, which means you have a header and a content. Most likely this will be the most common type here. So for example, if we click here is my title, we will get that. And then the bullet points, point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. Right. Now you can see that the interface, because it is Microsoft Windows or Microsoft Office, it is very similar to Word or Excel. So you can highlight, for example, click the whole text here, and then change the font or change the size of the font, or you could use this enlarge and make small kind of fonts, right? Okay, so that is adding a new slide. What you could also do is then add in things like music. So I'll just show you again how to add music and also videos. So for example, if we wanted music on this slide, we will click on Insert and then look for this on the right hand side, which is audio. And when you click it, you can click audio on my PC. So then you look for a audio file. For example, if I have let's say I have this and I insert it, and once I play it, I can hear it. Right? You can do a few things with the audio. You can see here that you can control how the music starts. For example, when you show the slide and then you click on, when you click, then only the music starts, or you can start it automatically. Once the slide is shown, it plays automatically. You can also make it play across slides. Say, for example, the music is a few minutes long and you want to play it across a few slides, you could do that. Typically, we won't set it on. If you want to set this to play continuously until you move on to the next slide, then you click on loop until stopped, right? So if you go into a slideshow, for example, we click on the slideshow here. It automatically plays, right? Now to exit the slideshow, just hit escape. All right. So if you want to insert a video, let's do a new slide, add a new slide. Okay. And here's an introduction video, for example. You use the same command, insert, and instead of audio, this time use video. And you could use an online video or video on my PC. In this case, we're going to use a video on my PC. Just click on that. And let's say we're going to use this. And we're going to insert it. So the video is here, right? And you can play it from here. And what you can do is when you click on this playback setting over on the video tools up here, playback, you can make it start on a click, for example, or you can make it start automatically. And you can also make it play full screen so that it occupies the entire screen when playing. So now I'm just going to show you what it looks like by clicking on slideshow. Okay, and to stop, we just hit escape and escape again. So in other words, when we set for this particular video, we set it to start automatically, and we say play full screen, it actually occupies the whole screen when playing. So those are a few simple steps that you can use to add slides to PowerPoint. You can also change the sequence of the slides by just pulling them up and down, right? Or you can scroll up and down and move the slides. There's also a view layout. For example, let me see if I can make those changes. Yeah, you can see here, for example, the slide sorter. So if I click down here on the right hand bottom, I can see slides in different orders, so I can move them around quite easily. Let's say I wanted these two slides to come in front, I can slide them around, and then I can slide them back to the right position, for example, and then click here again to come back to your normal view. Now, when we want to play the video in Zoom, or we play the PowerPoint in Zoom, here's one setting that you should use. It's called slideshow. And then you do set up the slideshow here. By default, it will show this presented by a speaker in full screen. And when you run it in full screen, I'll show you the difference. Yeah. When you run it in full screen, I'll go ahead and save this now. And if I do a slideshow, what happens is that you can see that it takes the whole screen. The whole screen is taken up, right? For Zoom purposes, it is better to have it shown in a window so that it doesn't have a problem when you want to move around your screen. So what you can do is go back to the slideshow, set up slideshow, and click on browse by an individual at a window and click OK. Once you set this for this particular PowerPoint file, every time you open it, it will take the same setting. So what happens is that when you run it, slideshow, let me try that again. It's browsed by an individual in there. And what I'll do is I will make this smaller. And then when you run it, you see that the show is actually running in a window of its own, and you can see the rest of the screen. And this will be more useful if you have, your Zoom client running at the side, because it will be less distraction for you. You can actually control your Zoom controls as well as run the slideshow. And to move the slide back and forth, you can use the arrow keys, the right arrow key to move forward, and the left arrow key to go backwards. So now let me show you how this works in Zoom, right? So let's say we are in a Zoom meeting. Of course, I'm only meeting myself here on the testing, but you might have several participants on your Zoom screen. And then what happens is that you share screen. And in this case, we will share the presentation, right? And click on share. Now, what happens is that if we look at this now with the setting slideshow, set up slideshow, yeah, and we've got it presented by a speaker full screen, right? This is the default setting that every new slideshow will be created with. And I save it, I click OK. Now when I run the slideshow, you'll see that the whole screen is taken up. So if you want to do things like stop share or some other stuff, prepare your next slide or something like that, it actually is occupying your entire screen. So I'm just going to stop share now. Okay, so instead of doing that, you see it's occupied my whole screen now. So it gets a little confusing. So instead of doing that, what we do is we go to slideshow setup, browse by an individual, and click OK, right? And now when I go back to Zoom and I say share this particular window, and now if I run slideshow, the slideshow will be running in a window. Okay, and what happens is that the audience will be seeing this, not the rest of my screen. Now I'm free to move around the rest of my screen if I need to open some other files or some other notes. And you will see here also there's a slide control that you can actually click next, back, and so on. Yeah. Okay, and then to stop the presentation, obviously hit escape and then stop share. Okay, hope you found that useful.